The President spoke about the incident very briefly earlier tonight as he was returning to the White House.
I've been fully briefed on the Brown University situation, what a terrible thing it is. And all we can do right now is pray for the victims and for those that were very badly hurt, it looks like. And we'll inform you later as to what's happening, but it's a shame. It's a shame. Just pray.
And there are 6 students tonight in critical condition. Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey is reacting to today's shooting.
She released a statement that reads, "My heart is with Brown University and the city of Providence, and I'm praying for everyone impacted by this tragic act of violence." Massachusetts State Police are in close contact with Rhode Island officials, and I've been in touch with Governor Dan McKee to offer our full support and assistance.
FBI Director Kash Patel posted this message on X. FBI personnel are on the scene and assisting this evening after the shooting at Brown University, and we will provide all capabilities necessary. Please pray for all those involved. We will update with more information as we are able. Now, the FBI already has a dedicated website to upload photos and videos of the incident at Brown University, this deadly attack. It is fbi.gov/Brown University shooting.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren posted this statement. "The deadly shooting at Brown University is horrific. Students should be able to learn in peace, not fear gun violence. My heart goes out to the victims, their loved ones, and the entire Providence community." Okay, we're going to have more on the shooting coming up right now, as a matter of fact, as we're told the news conference is getting underway right now. So let's go to it live.
Really meaningful updates or breaking news through the night. This will be our last update of the evening. We will absolutely share if there are important or impactful updates in the middle of the night, but at this time we're expecting this to be the last update for now. Again, I'm joined by Governor Dan McKee, and the state's partnership and cooperation and assistance through this process has been invaluable, and I want to thank the governor for that. Also joined by members of the Providence City Council who have done an excellent job of keeping their constituents involved and informed through what an extraordinarily stressful night for everybody in the city of Providence and throughout the state of Rhode Island. Special acknowledgement and recognition to the councilman for this neighborhood, whose neighborhood is under a shelter in place right now, which is Councilman John Goncalves. Thank you, Councilman. At this time, we have no further update to provide in the status of our investigation and the search for the individual who is still at large. We have shared the image of the individual we believe to be the shooter. We know that there is not a clear shot of the face in what was provided, but we continue to canvass the neighborhood and the campus for additional video footage, still photography, and are interviewing witnesses. I mentioned earlier we are asking for help from the community in terms of tips or relevant information, and I want to thank the FBI who has set up a new website to allow for videos or photos to be uploaded. I'd like to share that with you at this time, and we'll provide it also after the fact. But the website address is fbi.gov/Brown University shooting. Again, that's fbi.gov Brown University shooting. We know that the telephone line doesn't allow, obviously, for the uploading of video or photographs. This website does allow for that, and our partnership with the FBI, which has been excellent throughout the evening, they quickly stood up this resource to allow us to comb through additional evidence or tips as they may come in. The Providence Police also has a specific tip line now for this incident. That phone number is 401-652-5767. Again, that's 401-652-5767. That's the Providence Police tip line specifically for this incident. Before I turn it over to the governor, I just want to speak to the shelter in place that remains in effect for the Brown campus and the surrounding areas. We will keep the shelter in place in effect until such time as it has been lifted. It has been very helpful both for the safety and security of our neighbors, but more importantly for the investigation that remain in effect. It has allowed police, Providence Police, Brown Police, and all of our partners to canvass the neighborhood, look for evidence, assess if there are additional cameras that may yield video evidence, and to do a visual search to help provide and ensure a sense of safety for our community. Having this shelter in place allows them to do their work in the first phase of the investigation. And so we will notify the community through official Providence channels when the shelter is lifted, but it remains in effect to allow law enforcement to conclude and conduct this chapter of the investigation. I also want to speak directly to the fact that it is Saturday night. Tomorrow is Sunday, a week before Christmas, in a city with a lot of things going on. There are shows, a lot of families will be headed to church in the morning, and we, at this time, are not recommending that those events be canceled. It's a personal choice whether you want to cancel your holiday party, but we do not feel it is necessary. In the hours that have eclipsed since the initial shooting, we've received no additional credible information that there is any specific ongoing threat from this individual, and so we do not believe these events need to be canceled. We do believe you can safely go to church in the morning. In order to provide an additional sense of safety and comfort and confidence, there will be an enhanced and visible law enforcement presence throughout the community tomorrow. We want people to know that there are hardworking men and women in law enforcement there for their protection and safety. And it's been a blur of the last couple of hours, but I would like to reiterate our deep gratitude for how hard law enforcement is working right now. They will be up and out all night tonight and throughout the day tomorrow, and will remain hard at work until the individual responsible is brought to justice. But tomorrow, on Sunday, you will see police officers throughout the city, and we are receiving and relying on and grateful for the assistance from the state police and our neighboring communities, all of whom have offered to help. We know this is a scary time, but we also know that tomorrow there is some business that needs to get done. People want to take their kids to church in the morning, and we want them to feel comfortable doing so. Those are the updates that I have to share. I'd like to invite Governor McKee to share a few words. Then we'll hear from Colonel Perez, Chief of the Providence Police Department, and then we'll take your questions. Governor?
Yeah. So I said earlier, the unthinkable has happened here in Rhode Island, and our thoughts and prayers go to the people who have been personally impacted in the Brown community, but also we want to make sure that we recognize the state is coming together as a whole around this issue, Mayor, rallying around Providence, Brown University. As a parent, grandparent, we know that we have deep feelings right now in the state, but they're coming together, and I think that that's something that we can certainly rally behind as we enter into the second day. At the hospital, shout out to our nurses and our medical staff that is, taking care of 9 individuals right now, and also to the communities at large that have responded to you, Mayor, right? Whether they're coming from my hometown of Cumberland or all around the state of Rhode Island. So we're rallying behind one another. We're going to continue that in day 2. The state pledges all its resources to the City of Providence. We'll continue to partner in with our federal officials as well to make sure that justice comes to the individual that pulled the trigger and caused death. And families, they're going to have to deal with this for a lifetime. So I'm happy that we're able to respond, but very sad about what we're responding to.
Thank you, Governor. Now we'll get a brief update from Colonel Oscar Perez, Chief of the Providence Police Department.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, as the Mayor stated, obviously, first and foremost, my thoughts and prayers to the family for losing their loved ones, especially in these times of the holidays that we'll get together with our family. So beyond that, I'll tell you that when the call came in, immediately our officers responded. Providence Police was here within minutes. At that point, obviously, we communicated with Brown Police and we did what we needed to do. At this point, as the mayor stated, we're going to continue to canvass the area. We have enhanced enforcement in the city. I got to thank our municipalities, our brothers and sisters from other municipalities who actually reached out immediately asking if I needed anything, as well as the state police, and so we're there with that, as well as the federal agencies, the FBI, ATF, who came and responded immediately and provided extra personnel, extra resources. At this point, it's all hands on deck, and I'll tell you that it was said by the mayor and it was said by the governor. It will be our job to ensure that the individual is responsible is brought to justice. I think that as a father, as a brother, as an uncle, I think that we want to bring justice and sort of relief to these families, and again, my heart goes out to them. I'll tell you that the mayor mentioned about the shelter in place. It's important to keep that in mind. These are fluid, dangerous situations, and we need to make sure that operationally the police department can do their job. That's canvassing the area, identifying suspects if we need to, continue to stop vehicles if we need to. At this point, we want to make sure that everyone's safe, and then once we realize that that's the case, we'll make sure that that's lifted. Again, I thank the officers of this department that stepped up immediately and quickly. Do I wish that we would have been here prior? Absolutely. But I know for a fact the Special Response Unit was here, our task force was here, narcotics was here, everyone that was working, including the commander, who drove here immediately. That goes without saying that this city is well protected and will continue to be well protected, and we'll continue to ensure that we do what we need to do to bring those people in justice. And I thank the mayor for the support and everybody else that's here for that. So thank you. Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead, John.
Just so we're clear.
Yes.
This individual goes into this classroom, this building, fires, and then exits. So nothing else on the campus, seems very targeted. Was there a student that flunked out of the class? Seems to be some connection, that building, that classroom.
Correct, and that's a great point, John, and I'll tell you that Detective Division is looking into that. Obviously, Major LaPena is actually on the street right now, as well as the captains, and that's something that we need to look at, right? What was this building? Why was this classroom? And as well, work very closely with Brown Police to see what type of resources they have in the building so that we can utilize to find the evidence that we need to follow and identify who this individual was.
So one quick
Yeah.
follow-up. When you look at that video,
Yes.
he's going right down Waterman, comes up Hope Waterman. What does that tell you? He seems fairly calm. He's not running. He's walking at a brisk pace. Your background, what does that tell you about this suspect?
I'll tell you, these individuals, you see it nationwide. You never think it would happen here in the city of Providence, but that's the dynamic actions that they do. And it's exactly what you saw, and it's something that we have to investigate further to figure out who this individual was. But we'll take that into account. Go ahead, Pat.